Bob Rathman. It's a pleasure to welcome you all here. We have with us Travis and our three draftees. We'll hear from all in just a moment. We'd first of all like to welcome those of you who are watching on Fox Sports Southeast today, the television home of the Hawks. We're also streaming this live on Fox Sports Go. NBA TV is picking up our coverage this morning, so we appreciate that. Also, it's live on Hawks Facebook and our radio flagship station, 92.9 The Game here in Atlanta, covering today's activities. So we welcome everyone, both here in person and on media today. Before we get started, I just want to take a second. This is the end of a long and winding road for all of these folks, but particularly for basketball ops, our scouts, both domestically and internationally. This is the culmination of a long year of work. So I would like all the basketball ops guys to please stand and be recognized with a round of applause. Guys, if you stand, I see, but please, everybody that's involved, hey, come on, stand up. Don't be bashful, you deserve this recognition. Congratulations on a lot of hard work. And also we welcome our player families that are here today. You'll hear more from them and about them in a moment. The agents that are here. So welcome to Atlanta. We are absolutely thrilled to have you all here. So let's begin with, first of all, a draft overview. And for that, I turn to our general manager, Travis Schlenk. Travis.
Thanks, Bob. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today, tuning in. We'll start, obviously, with our first round draft, or first pick of the first round. We went with Trae Young. We're extremely excited about Trae. I think you guys have a pretty good idea about his game. As I mentioned the other night, what really gets us excited about Trae is his ability to make plays for others, his passing, and we're really looking forward to playing a fun style of basketball. We're getting up and down the floor and allowing him to make plays for himself and for others. Next, with the 19th pick, we went with Kevin. Kevin, again, has great size for a wing at 6'7", has a really, really good shooting stroke, shot 42% from three this year, is that right, Kevin? Around there. He also has the ability to put the ball on the floor and make plays for himself and others, so we're really looking forward, again, in an up and down game for his ability to get out in the open court, knock down open shots, and put the ball on the floor and get to the rim. And finally, with the 30th pick, we went with Omari. Omari, you know, he's been compared to Draymond Green, I guess, and I guess I should have started by saying when we went through this draft, that never once crossed my mind, but it's out there. But what really stands out about Omari is his passion. The intensity he plays with every night, and I think the city is just going to fall in love with how hard he goes out there and plays. Now, from my perspective, what goes along great with that is that 44% three-point shooters, is that correct? 43. I tried to give you too much credit. But anyway, we're really, really excited with how the draft turned out. We liked all these guys, and we were ecstatic when they were there with our respective picks.
Well, Omari, we'll start with you down there at the end. You just came off a national championship at Villanova, and just a few short months later, you find yourself in the NBA with the Atlanta Hawks. Just describe what a whirlwind this has been for you these last few months.
Man, it's been honestly an incredible experience. Something that I wouldn't trade for anything, and I think I'm extremely proud to be an Atlanta Hawk, and I think I'm just really ready to get to work and play alongside these guys.
We're thrilled to have you here. Congratulations. Kevin, we saw, I think many of us saw, the video of draft night back home for you, and I was wondering if you could describe a little bit about that setting and the video that we saw, because you were surrounded by family and friends, but you knew a little something that the rest of the crowd didn't. Tell us a little bit about what happened on Thursday night.
Yeah, so I made the decision to stay home from the draft, knowing I'd have a lot of support back home, and we ended up having it at a golf course, a place that we knew we could fit a lot of people. We had around 200 people there, and right before the pick, really during San Antonio's pick, I got a tap from my agent on the shoulder and said, this is going to be you. And I remember I put my phone away. My mom was like, should I be reading into this? That you're putting your phone away, you're not looking at it. And just told her to watch the TV. A couple minutes later, my name was called. And obviously, I think a lot of people saw the reaction. And it's exactly what I wanted. It was something I was dreaming about, just the reaction from everybody around me. And, moment I'll always remember.
Right. Trae, you didn't have that kind of anxiety. You knew you were going, just was a question of where. I want to take you back to your workout here at Emory, because when you came in, something special happened. That during that workout, you were guarded one-on-one by what turns out to be your future head coach. Lloyd Pierce is on the floor, guarding you, defending you. Did you get a notion then that this was going to be a special place for you?
I mean, when your head coach is that passionate and that competitive and he guards you in a workout, I knew if I ended up here, it would be something special. I mean, I've always had a great relationship with my coaches, especially with my head coach, and I think from then and starting, I mean, from that day, we just built a great bond, and I can't wait to get to work with Coach Pierce even more. Hopefully, he can pick me up a little bit more on full court too.
Fantastic. Well, we'll open it up for questions. We have microphones, so please identify yourself and your media affiliation, so those watching on TV and listening on the radio will know who the question's coming from. So we appreciate that. Raise your hand, and our fleet of foot media staff members will be assisting to get a microphone too.
This is Raphael from the three-point conversion. Trae, when you came out to work out, I did ask you about what it would be like playing with a new coach. They're rebuilding. You kind of gave me like a conservative answer, of course. But now that you're here, how does it feel being in a rebuilding process with a brand new coach, new players?
I mean, it's great. I mean, Coach Pierce is a player's coach. This whole staff is, I mean, a staff that all relatable guys who will push you, make you better. And so when you have a staff like that, that's all you can ask for. Someone's going to make you better, make your teammates better. And then, I mean, this group here is very talented, very young. I mean, guys like Omari and Kevin, I mean, they're very talented. So being in this draft class with those guys, I mean, it's great for me. And just being in this rebuilding process is a lot like going to Oklahoma. I mean, the year before I got there, they were 11 and 20, and I knew when I went into Oklahoma, I knew they were kind of wanting to get back into the flow of things, trying to get back to a Final Four, things like that. And I just took it one day, one step at a time, and it's all a process. And so that was my main focus going into that. And I see a lot of similarities coming into this organization.
Next question.
Larisha Harris from Intercom Radio Atlanta. Trae, this is for you. When it comes down to improving on your defense, what's your plan of attack?
Well, my main focus is proving that from day one. I mean, growing up playing basketball, I've played for coaches that if I didn't play defense, then I wouldn't be playing. And I know that's something I gotta prove from day one. And I mean, I have quick feet. I'm very cerebral. So I can play defense, and I know Coach Pierce is going to demand that out of me, so I gotta get it going.
Greetings, gentlemen. Welcome to Atlanta. This is Evan Powell from Hawksbeat. I'm just curious as to to the three of you. Who do you think that your game emulates that's in the pro game today?
I would say probably like my man Charlie said, my passion, you know, how hard I want to compete, how hard I want to play. I would say probably, to what I've seen, I would say probably maybe Draymond Green. But I just try to be a complete basketball player. I know there are a lot of complete basketball players in the NBA. So I would just probably have to stick with the Draymond Green comparison, I guess.
I don't think there's one specific guy, but I think for me, one of my strengths is obviously shooting the ball, but I think my game goes past that and a little bit further. So, guys I try to look up to is Gordon Hayward, Klay Thompson, Bradley Beal, just the way that those guys can shoot the ball, but also put on the floor and make plays for others.
Yeah, well, like Kevin said, I mean, I can't really name one person. I know I get a lot of the Steph comparison, but I just try to pick different things from different players. guys like Kyrie, I mean, Tony Parker, the way he finishes around the rim. Obviously, I try to get things from Steph, Damian Lillard, but my favorite player growing up has been Steve Nash, and I try to get as much Steve Nash in my game as possible with his ability. He's very smart, knows how to pass. He passes people open, different things like that. So Steve Nash, in my opinion.
LaRisha Harris from Intercom Radio again. A non-basketball related question here. You guys are in Atlanta now. What is something or a few things that you want to do, I guess that's based upon the city of Atlanta?
I mean, I've never been to like any other professional sports games. So, I mean, getting out to an MLB game, seeing the Braves play, when football comes around, watching the Falcons play, and then even in MLS games. So, I just want to go out and go to the different sporting events.
Yeah, I would say the same. I'm a sports fan. I haven't been in the city of Atlanta yet. It was really only the Peach team that I was in Georgia. And so I actually have a friend from my high school within the Braves organization. He's a pitcher. And so hopefully a couple of years, we'll both still be here playing for an Atlanta-based team. And so going to get to see the Falcons. I'm a Giants fan. Hopefully go see the Giants beat them. But again, be able to go and be a sports fan.
I think same for me. Definitely immersing myself in everything that Atlanta has to offer, whether it be musically, in the sports world. Just trying to immerse myself in the city and just really get to understand the city and its pulse and just really get to see and know Atlanta again.
Dan Wolkin, USA Today. For Trae, as you think back on the process, as you think back on the process of the last few months, why do you think that you became such a polarizing player in terms of how people projected you as an NBA player? And why are the people who think that you're not going to live up to where you were drafted, why are they wrong?
To your first question, I think, why am I so polarized? I think the way I play, I think it fits the modern NBA game, and the way the game is changing in the NBA, with the people shooting threes, spacing out the floor, attacking, and just all the space in the NBA now. I think that's why. I mean, to answer your first question, I think that's a big reason why. And then I don't know. I think your second question. I think I think the criticism. I mean, the too small thing. I mean, that's been the same criticism I've had growing up, and it's my job to just not even make that a factor. I work extremely hard, as well as I know these guys do, and I know, I mean, this whole organization wants to get it going again, and so I know when everybody wants the same goal and winning, and they're going to, I mean, work extremely hard. I think that's a positive, so I think that's another thing.
This question for Trae, Justin Felder from Fox 5 Atlanta. You mentioned Steve Nash is a guy you look up to and model your game after. You obviously did a lot of scoring and doling out assists at Oklahoma, but do you see yourself as more of a facilitator in the NBA?
I just see myself as a playmaker, not necessarily just leaning one way, either scoring or assisting. I just see myself as making plays, and that's how my game has always been. And it just so happens that I led the country in points and assists. But I just try to make the right plays, score when I need to, get my teammates involved when I need to. And when I have guys like these guys coming to the draft class, and even guys like John and everybody that's on this team, that's going to make my job a whole lot easier.
Andre Aldridge, Fox Sports South. Question is for Trae, back here in the back. We all good. I guess most of the country knows your offensive game. I want to know your thoughts on Kevin's offensive game and what you've seen from him as a scorer.
Yeah, well, I was fortunate to be able to play with him on USA Basketball, and I mean, he's a very talented player, as everybody knows. I mean, he can really shoot the ball, but he not also, I mean, can just shoot it. He can put the ball on the floor. And I think something that people don't really understand or realize about Kevin is how smart he is. I mean, he's a very smart player. I mean, everything he does is just very cerebral. So those are a few things that he's very good at.
Jay Clemens, 11 Live. For the first time, I believe ever, the entire Summer League will be in one central location in Las Vegas. Are you guys ready, all three of you? Are you ready for the physical rigors of what essentially will be more taxing than a preseason would be, and that's like in 2 weeks?
Well, we're going to Utah first. We got a few games in Utah we got to get ready for. But no, I think I'm excited to get to work, and it starts in Utah July 2nd, and just getting ready for that. And I know Vegas will be a lot of people there, and very excited for this team. But I think myself and these guys are ready just to go out and compete July 2nd.
Fortunately, I won't be playing in the actual games. I'll be with the team, obviously starting to learn the system. Obviously getting closer with everybody, so I'll be traveling, I'll be having a lot of fun, getting to watching games up close.
Yeah, same as them. I think we're all going to work extremely hard to put ourselves in position to be ready to compete when it's time to, whether it's Summer League, preseason, or even beyond that.
Kevin, you might want to explain to those who don't know what happened to you with the hand.
Yeah, so I originally had an injury in February game at Northwestern. I sustained an injury within the game and ended up finishing it. Didn't really, didn't get taken, got an MRI a couple months later. Realized that I had a torn ligament in my hand that I'd been playing with. This was before all the combine, and so I went through the combine, went through all the team workouts, came here, worked out in Atlanta, and it was all kind of going well. It was going pretty well, and on a workout, when I was in LA, I got hit again, ended up getting a second opinion in New York, and ended up getting surgery the next day. Original timetable was 6 weeks of really, no basketball, can't shoot. I could work on my lower body, but anything involving my hand, I had to try to stay away from. And the original timetable, we're trying to cut it down. It feels really good today, and really excited to get back, especially start shooting again.
Alec, in the back, Alec McQuaid, 11 Live. For Trae and Kevin, you kind of mentioned who you want to emulate your games after, and obviously you've heard comparisons to the Splash Brothers. I'm just curious what you think about those comparisons, but also how you kind of come into this without the pressures of living up to those kinds of expectations.
It's definitely high praise. It's definitely high praise, but I think what me and Trae both said is we kind of want to create our own story, create our own path, and so being compared to guys like Clay and Steph and what they've been able to do and really kind of change the game and really made the Warriors, I guess, one of the toughest teams to guard in the NBA. I think we want to have a similar type of effect, the type of players and defenses really have to prepare for, but I think we want to definitely do it our own way.
I mean, he pretty much said it. Who wouldn't want to be compared to those guys in that backcourt? But like he said, we want to be. We want to start our own way, start our own little thing. But they made the blueprint. They set the blueprint, and we know we can't skip steps. We have to start. We have to start somewhere and build up. And, we want to get it to that level.
Charles Little with the Associated Press. Sneak one into Travis if I can. Free agency is just around the corner. Now that you have these three guys sitting beside you, can you talk about your outlook for that period, what's left for you to address?
Yeah, we've got about $20 million worth of cap space this summer. We will not be quickly out of the gates looking to sign guys. We'll kind of sit back and see what the market dictates. I think we have 12 guys under contract right now as we head into that, so we have 3 open spots. But we'll kind of play a waiting game and see how the market plays out.
Deshaun Tate, 92.9 The Game here in Atlanta. This question is for Trae. Obviously, a lot of eyes were on you during the course of the season. There's been, obviously, I can imagine what kind of pressure and/or national attention and things of that nature. How does that translate and benefit you going into the NBA now?
I think it benefits me just because I've been through it. I've been through the ups and I've been through the downs, so I know how to handle things a lot better now. I know the NBA is a lot of different levels. I mean, as far as the market and then the publicity, that's a whole different level. But I got a little piece of how it is and how to handle it going through college. So I think it helps me just. I mean, I've already been through it once, and so I think it helped me that way.
Hey guys, welcome to Atlanta. Ashley Shambi from Fox Sports South. This can be for anyone. Is there anyone that you guys are most excited to play against or learn from on the Hawks roster right now?
Me personally, I mean, I'm excited first to be playing again with Kevin. I played against Omari in AAU. Unfortunately, we were talking back there, they beat us. But I mean, everybody on this roster, not just one. I mean, we saw Kent back there, John, Dennis. I mean, there's all these different guys on this roster that I'm excited to play with.
Yeah, I'd say the same. There's not one guy, and especially being a young team, new coach, all of us obviously being new. I think it'll be a journey for everybody, and I think it's kind of a fresh start. And obviously, get to play with these guys. We got a national champion over here, and so a guy that knows how to win, and the people who bet on this roster, I think we'll take them under their wing. Different veterans that have been here, so really kind of everyone. I think we're all ready to get started.
Same answer for me. I think it's just a lot to learn. I'm just really excited to be. I'm in a place where everybody, is really committed to winning, and I'm just looking forward to learning from everybody that I can, and just trying to get a lot better for my teammates and coaches.
To you guys left, Anthony Amy with WSB TV here in Atlanta. This is actually for all three of you guys. Obviously, you've had to have a certain amount of confidence to get to this point, but how do you balance the line of having the confidence of knowing that you should be here with also the knowledge that you have so much to learn as rookies?
I guess I'll take that one. For me, it comes from a quote or a saying that I got from Villanova. It just says, humble and hungry. I'm always hungry to compete. I'm always hungry to get after it, but I'm also humble enough to understand that I don't know everything. And that's the reason that there are coaches and guys that are older than you in place. So for me, I am confident in my abilities. I'm confident in the way that I play the game and I compete, but I also know that there's things, people that are older than me, veterans, just people can teach me. So if I want to get better and I'm committed to getting better, I have to know that I don't know everything.
Yeah, I think if we all were confident in ourselves and our game, that we wouldn't be sitting up here today. And so all of us are young up here, and there's definitely some men in this league. I still think of myself as a kid, and so there's a lot of guys that all have a lot to learn, and I think that'll come both in practice and within games from the coaching staff. And so I think there'll be a lot of moments where I'll be learning.
Well, like the other guy said, I mean, if we weren't confident, we wouldn't be here today. And I think my confidence comes with how hard I work. And when you work extremely hard, you just believe in yourself, and you believe in all the hard work you put in, and that it's going to pay off because you left everything out there. So I know these guys feel the same way. They work extremely hard, and but at the same time, I know I don't know it all. I mean, I can't wait to learn from the vets here, coaching staff, different things like that. And I mean, you got to pick up as much as you can because, like I said, I don't know it all, but I work extremely hard.
On the right side, guys.
Hey guys, Rebecca Cable, Fox Sports South. Welcome to Atlanta. I guess this is for all of you. I'm just curious, on draft night, after your name was called, what was the reception like from your new Hawks teammates? Who did you hear from? Did they tweet at you? What did they say?
Oh, well, my reception was crazy. A lot of emotions and stuff going on right after, and then a lot of the media the media circuit at the draft. So didn't really get back to a lot of people until later that night or early the next morning. But I got texts from multiple guys on the team, tweets as well, and different things like that, just congratulating me and welcoming me and different things like that.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. Like Trae said, just texts and calls and different stuff like that. I haven't been able to get back to everybody. Dennis, guys like here, Bays that texted me, Tony that texted me, talked to Coach the night after. Apparently I missed a call from Mr. Slate. He was busting on me earlier about. So, other than that, it was definitely crazy. Again, with being around so many friends and family, there's a lot of support.
It was definitely a good reception to be around my family, and it was just a good feeling for me. I talked to a lot of people on the staff and some of the guys on the team, so it was just really cool, man. It was really a humbling experience to be a part of it. I was extremely happy.
It's Rafael from the three-point conversion. Once again, this is for Omari. Omari, coming from Villanova and winning the championship, how can you bring that type of experience as far as winning? With most of the players in the Hawks, if not all, they haven't won. So even though you're going to a different level, how can you bring that experience and help the Hawks?
I never really thought of myself as teaching someone. I'm 20. If there was one thing I could take away from my success at Villanova, it's just it's just trying to get better every day. And if everyone tries to get better every day, that gives us our best chance to be the best team we can be. And if the best team we can be at the end of the year is a championship team or not, if you know you gave it your all every day, you can live with the results. Just get back to work in the offseason.